Okay, good evening, everyone. Doing a quick video here on a Saturday. Topic is about the drive to improve insulation to save energy and save money, with the cost of energy being so high at the moment, and the need to be aware that if you do this without making improvements to the ventilation, then you can end up with health issues. So we're seeing a huge drive by landlords, housing associations, property owners basically up and down the country, to improve insulation. Obviously it's part of the net zero drive, but basically to improve insulation to save their tenants money. Now, obviously it's a very important thing, but what we're not hearing about is the need to make simultaneous improvements to the ventilation in those buildings. The vast majority of buildings that I'm talking about here are naturally ventilated. So when you make improvements to the insulation, natural ventilation will not scale with that. So you will end up with problems of indoor air quality. We've seen this for 15 years. In fact, we've been seeing it for 40 years in this country when we first started double glazing in the early 70s. And that was in response, incidentally, to the last time we had an energy crisis in this country, and people started to trying to save money. But the point is that since the pandemic, the advice to improve ventilation in most properties is to open a few windows or open trickle vents. And we're running the risk of saving money and saving energy, and then only to have all of that energy wasted when people open windows in their properties because they need to get fresh air or stop getting COVID. So this is the key message of this. There are millions of buildings that are having insulation improvements with natural background ventilation strategies where these risks will happen. We've just gone into the cold season this year, and my message is to all of them: be on the lookout for the telltale signs, the visible telltale signs of issues. Okay, so condensation on the windows, black mold starting to develop on the surfaces, on the coldest surfaces in each of the rooms, so weather facing around the windows, that sort of thing. If you're starting to see that after you've improved insulation, that is a sign that your property is not very well ventilated. Okay, and that will lead to is health and well-being issues with the occupants of those buildings. So obviously, if you're a landlord, if you're a property manager, you own the duty of care to the people, for the people living in your properties, and the law is very favourable these days. The Homes for Human Habitation Act, for example, is very favourable to people living in your properties. My message to everybody is: do not create a duty of care issue in the noble drive that everybody's engaged in to try and save everybody money. Now, there are ways of improving ventilation without wasting energy, without opening windows or using trickle vents. My company has been doing this for 15 years. We'd be very happy to speak to anybody that wants to know about how that can be achieved. We can do it without wasting energy, so your property gets all the ventilation it needs without ever having to open a window in winter, no energy loss, and it's not MVHR, by the way. So that's the real message. Okay, so if anyone would like to talk to us about it, do let us know. It's www.bi-services.co.uk or www.betterindoors.com, and we look forward to speaking to you. Thank you.